Strange plane crashes 2025, the spiritual message. Strange plane crashes in this specific time, 2025, the spiritual message. What's the deal, family? What's the word? What's the word? Dreamwise here for another one. Yes, sir, family. We got to talk about it. We got to dive deep because, there ain't no such thing as a coincidence. And we just want to be able to observe spirit at play when these events are happening. And the more we do observe these things as spiritual messages, the more we can be in alignment with our own adventure, our own personal adventure that will shift us into a new perspective and light, that will shift us into a new being, a new person, and to get us closer and closer to God, which is your higher self. So I want to encourage the family to understand that during these times, when you see these events happening, it's kind of like chaotic events happening. That's just a sign from the spirit world to give you direction or guidance or a clue in how to move next. See, look, because I was talking about this with the Patreon family, like when the first planes was going off, like the first two planes crashed, like in a matter of a week or a few days. And I was like, yeah, shit, that, that stuff happens. Cool. They're going to make a big deal out of it. Correct. Right. And even then, there's still spiritual messages in that event because everything that comes on this media screen is still spirit at play. So I was telling them, hey, there's them there. Well, look, I'm going to show y'all for yourself. Share screen. There are 45,000 flights take off every day in the United States. 45,000. 45,000 a day. So the odds of yours going down is minuscule. 45,000 a day. And the planes that went down were, like private planes where they had 80 or 100 passengers, whatever, 90 passengers. Cool. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I don't want people to panic and not get on a flight because of these simple events. Now, if we want to look at it, if we want to zoom out and look at it as a spiritual message, then that's what I'm here to do right now. But, you don't want to be afraid to catch a plane because you're seeing too many signs or you're just seeing all these planes fall. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that 15-hour drive to Cali, that shit gonna hurt a little bit more than you catching that quick 2-hour plane. And the last time planes were crashing, was a few years ago. So we do want to pay attention to the symbology of it, but we don't want to be afraid to board a plane. You feel me? Get on that plane and you're going to get to your destination, family. And hey, look, nigga, if it's your time to go, shit, all right, baby. That's what it is, shit. You feel me? Okay, see you on the other side. But you can't let, these ideas, these situationships run your world. So we want to, calm ourselves down because, I'm seeing all the people on Facebook and Instagram and shit. Yeah, nah, I ain't never getting on a plane again. All right, baby. Well, I'll meet you there. You feel me? They talk about it's more likely that you'll get in a car crash than the plane. You feel me? So whatever, beside the point, let's get to the spiritual message of it because spirit is at play here. And I just want to show y'all the synchronicities and signs that's happening in this specific time that's going to move you into a level of gnosis. And remember, gnosis is just knowledge, spiritual knowledge for yourself. So the more you fall into the spiritual gnosis of this world, which is just a big symbolic, illusionary, holographic messaging system for you to learn something new, then the more things will start to make sense and you'll become more enlightened. Remember, in Coming to America, King went to America to learn something new. That was the whole point of him going to America, to learn something new. So that's the same aspect of you coming to Earth. You're here to learn something new because you are already the king of Zamunda, king of your world. When you transition, you're just here to experience something new. And in that experience, you'll have an awakening or an enlightenment that will let you beat the game. So now I'm going to give y'all all the plays and understandings. But first, let's watch one of the survivors talk about the plane crash, because it was interesting when I was hearing his video. Check the person out as they dive into this.
Let's go right now to John Nelson. He was a passenger on the plane. John, thank you so much for being with us. We're so glad you're okay. I mean,
they got that boy right off the plane and saying they must have pulled him right off the damn plane. Nigga can't even catch his breath. Hey, come on, I got a bag for you. Real quick, tell me what happened. God damn. Can he call his people first? Damn.
Who would have known that you were in a plane crash a few hours ago? It's unbelievable. You have video that you recorded. We've been watching. Tell us when you first realized something was the matter.
Yeah, it was a typical flight from Minneapolis to Toronto. And we were coming in, and I did notice that the winds were super gusty. The snow had kind of blown over the runways. And so coming in, it just, it was routine, but it was noticeable that the runways were kind of in a weird condition. And when we hit, it was just a super hard, I hit the ground and the plane went sideways. And I believe we skidded on our side and then flipped over on our back. Where we ended up, there was a big fireball out this left side of the plane. And when we got finished, it was I was upside down. Everybody else was there as well. Thankfully, everybody was okay.
Now that's a big clue in spirit. Upside down, upside down, upside down. Don't worry, we're gonna get to it. Y'all know how dream works. That's a big clue, and this is a spiritual message for you to understand something to the core. So watch how we work, because this is how spirit communicates to us from the higher realms.
But we tried to get out of there as quickly as possible. And then shortly thereafter, I got done filming the video. There was another explosion, but luckily the firefighters got out of there.
They were there quickly, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So where were you seated in the plane?
I was in row 10 of the plane, so just front of the wing.
And did you see the wing come off?
No, by that point we were being tossed around. I was just trying to hold on to everything at that point.
And how did you get yourself out of your seatbelt? And did everyone stay in their seatbelts that you could tell? Was everyone hanging upside down? Had anyone slipped out of their seatbelts?
Yeah, I mean, it was mass chaos. I was upside down. The lady next to me was upside down. We kind of let ourselves go and fell to hit the ceiling, which is surreal feeling. And then everybody was just like, get out, get out, get out. We could smell jet fuel. Even now I smell like jet fuel. And then we just crawled out the back of the airplane.
The nigga said, even now I smell like jet fuel. God damn, CNN, let this boy go take a shower or something. Damn. Hey, they would have had to offer me a bag if they wanted to interview me. Immediately bag. Hey, we give you 10,000 to come on, and I bet. Come on, let's do it, shit. Cause goddamn, he just hopped right into the interview right after they pulled him. Ugh. Get over here. God damn, let that nigga get his mind back. They want first-hand reports of it. I don't know what I would have been doing in that. Upside down in that bitch, you smelling gas? You would have had to just break it. What? You would have had to just say, all right, fuck it. Just start running for any kind of get out of there quickly and make it happen because, oh boy.
And the firefighters, the EMTs were there right away.
Was anyone injured? I mean, what did you see? We know there were some injuries. What was it like?
Chaos. There was injuries. There was hurt individuals. Yeah, I mean, it's just all the emotional roller coaster that you go through, but things you hope you don't see again, right?
Okay, you said a lot right there. Chaos and emotional roller coaster. So that's where we're going to dive deep. That's where we're going to dive deep into. So essentially what happened was the Delta plane was coming in Toronto. Drake was coming into Toronto. And as it was doing an emergency landing, something was happening with the weather or whatever. And then that bitch just, as it was landing, it hit one of his wings and then it just started flipping over. And then it was upside down. So I seen the video and I was like, oh, okay. Well, everybody made it safe. You know, some people got injured, but it was nothing significant. And now that we just seen this basically third or fourth plane event, now we just got to understand it from a symbolic, spiritual level, because that's really where the key at is in the messaging. So yeah, as you can see, you know, upside down, that's a big play in understanding for us right now to gather some knowledge from this event. So now let's think about an airplane as, you know, as a message, right? When you have dreams of airplanes or you flying in a plane, there's a message to it. It says airplanes often symbolizes freedom, perspective, and transcendence. In dreams or spiritual symbolism, airplanes represent a desire to rise above a situation, rising above a situation, to escape from constraints, or to gain a higher perspective on life's challenges. So there's something, whenever you see a plane in your dream or symbolically, like, right, you keep on thinking of planes or you keep on seeing planes in the sky, there might be some higher perspective that you got to go into to gain clarity on what that situation is trying to teach you. So let's say, you know, you having arguments with a coworker at your job. And for some reason, you keep on seeing planes. You see a toy plane, you have a plane in your dream, blah, 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 right? There might be a higher perspective that spirit is saying, look, nigga, you don't got to be arguing over LeBron versus Jordan with this goofy ass nigga every day at work. You wasting your energy and your time, which is energy. Arguing with this goofy ass nigga. Think of him on a higher ground. Just let him know he's right. Y'all about to go to blows because you standing up for Jordan and Jordan don't even fuck with you. He don't even know you. You about to go to fight over Jordan because you used to wear J's when you was a kid. And he's saying LeBron, you saying Jordan, and now you getting all flustered and shit, having dreams of this nigga. And your higher self is like, nigga, if you don't let that shit go and come from a higher plane of existence and start thinking a little bit more grander, tell that nigga he right and move around. You getting all emotionally stirred up over this nigga defending LeBron. Now you looking at different things online to prove that Jordan is better and shit. Your goofy ass is looking up Jordan's stats and how and how much better he is than LeBron. Boy, you better get your ass out of that situation quick. So that's how spirit works. Sometimes it'll be as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? It'll be small stuff like that. Like, nigga, you wasting a lot of energy. You need to be thinking about your next move. You need to be moving into a space of doing your chakra work because your emotions is out of whack. You need to be figuring out how you can get out of this job because it's not even serving you. You just enjoy arguing with this nigga, so you keep on staying here in a comfortable state because at least you get to argue with this nigga because you're addicted to argumentative spirits. Hey, this is about transformation, family. I don't know what y'all want me to tell you. There's a point where you're going to have to change, and you're going to have to change for the better. There's something that's going to shift inside of you that's going to make you anew. It's going to help completely obliterate that old self and give you a new perspective and walk of life. See, when you do spiritual work, you are literally becoming somebody that's completely strange. Dr. Strange, you're not human. So then you start to observe the world from a different perspective than the humans. And then you can start to see people's addictive natures of being human. So I'm not speaking to the humans, I'm talking to the gods. I'm talking to the goddesses. I'm talking to the ones that can see with their first eye and not these two eyes and be so infatuated with the glamour. Because I was there before, you know, that glamour is tough. That glamour is a tough thing to beat. But there's a point when you have to say enough is enough and then start transforming your world based off of that's what time it is. It says they also signify movement, progress, and the ability to move beyond your current limits or boundaries. That's an important one. I'm gonna read that again. They also signify movement, progress, and the ability to move beyond your current limits or boundaries. So you can place yourself in a box just based off of you feeling that this is who I am and this is how I'm gonna be. And this is what it is. You feel me? Or you can start doing your alchemical spiritual work and start transforming. And not only are you going to change in the inside, things are going to start to change in the outside. Because as above, so below, as within, so without, it's a mirroring effect. So once you change your energy within and become a new person within, outwardly, things is going to start to make sense. Things will start to gravitate towards you and magnetize a new world that you're comfortable in, like real comfortable in. No worries. 3 little birds. Okay, so that's a plane right side up. Now let's talk about a plane that's crashed. It says plane crashes as symbols involves themes of deep-rooted fear, chaos, and the need for reflection on one's emotional or life circumstances. They often prompt you to consider areas of your life where you feel out of control or where sudden change might be imminent. Okay, so now we see Donald Trump doing what he's doing, Elon Musk doing what they're doing, and there's a shift that's happening that we can sense and tell that there's a new world coming into alignment in America. And that's an important energy to embrace, that caterpillar, right, into the cocoon state, which is the gestation state, right, in the birthing process, to become a butterfly. So we're in the thick of this chaos and this new transformational state that we're about to come into. It's just we have to be able to embrace it and absorb it all and have fun with it. Because the more you have fun with it, the more it'll start to transform how you move in this specific dimension. So that's important, family. Chaos is a must in everything. There is no darkness without light. So you can't have a superhero without a villain. And that's just the idea of polarity, opposites attract, or just opposites create the whole, which is yin and yang. It says a plane crash can also mark the end of a journey or chapter in life, on one that may not have ended the way you envisioned. It may be pointing towards the need to let go of something that no longer serves you, signaling that it's time to rebuild from the ground up. Yes, God, yes. So now you got to look at it and say, okay, what is my life signaling to me that I need to change in order to become anew? So then my 2026 time, that 1 year, right? Zeros and ones is creation. Remember, it's 10. Zeros and ones is creation. And the one is Neo. Neo, you're the one, can be a new adventure that I walk down for the next decade. Very, very important to understand that. And this year is just basically giving you clues all around. So that plane, these planes crashing are very important clues to understand that the transformation is here, and it's time to embark on this journey of dealing with your deep-rooted fears, embracing breaking stuff down, right? Or getting rid of stuff, the chaos. And then also reflecting on your emotions, which is a big deal because that's dealing with your Kundalini work, which is the snake. And since we're in the year of the snake, it says, the year of the snake teaches us profound self-improvement, encouraging growth from within and expanding our consciousness. It reminds us that becoming a better version of ourselves allows for greater flexibility, shedding rigidity, and embracing transformation. Remember, the snake is shedding of his skin. That's the whole symbolic energy of it. So as you're doing your Kundalini work, you're breaking something up inside of you as it's rising up. Since it's coiled down at the lower gastrointestinal tract, your root chakra, your Muladhara chakra, right? And as you're doing your spiritual work, you have to actually do your chakra work in order for that energy to rise to the occasion to become something new in the head, in the Godhead. And then all of a sudden, as you become something new, you don't put up with certain shit. You feel me? You'll start to see yourself speak differently. You start to move a little differently, right? You'll start looking for another way to bring forth income just based off of you changing and transforming. You'll start to appreciate your time more. So many different aspects of the spiritual gnosis or Kundalini awakening will just lead you into situationships in this adventure we call Earth, right? Because it's all dealing with the matters of the heart. Actually, when that Kundalini gets to that heart, that's when you'll start to feel a lot of like pain, like emotional energy pain, just killing off that old person and just being accepting of it. You feel me? Hell, that's the same. That's what happened to me. Me in my journey, right? Feeling that I had to be this particular hood nigga type of vibration energy was putting me in limbo for my true self because of the TV, the media, the glamour is so attractive that you damn near want to be in that, embrace that kind of energy just based off of, you know, the glamour shit and ass. You feel me? So now, as fellas, we gotta, that sexual energy, which is Kundalini energy, is a very important practice to work on based off of that shit could have you in a conundrum of the world. You see how many niggas, this shit, you can damn near 90% of people in jail is based off of a female. Doing some fighting for a female, defending a female, something, crashing out. You feel me? Over a female. Them niggas is, see, they talk about bros before hoes and all that shit. Them niggas ain't doing that shit. They in crash out mode over their females. And that's because there's a certain energy, emotional current that you have to be able to transform within you to get to another level of consciousness about, you know, your sexual energy. Very, very important. It says the invitation is to open to psychic awareness, to sense the vibration of your environment. This is important, that Kundalini energy, sensing the vibrations of your environment, and then use that insight to move forward on your path. This year embodies a calm, knowing energy, showing us that change fosters growth and makes us better people. This enables us as empaths and light workers to strive for expansion within our collective consciousness. So that's important, family. You want to understand that this 2025 year is going to embark on a lot of chaotic energy, right? But it's just tearing down the old to become something new, right? So now once we get into it, we see, oh boy, there's a movie that came out, Snakes on a Plane, right? And I got to go watch this movie again to really get what actually happened in it. But essentially it says FBI agent Samuel L. Jackson takes on a plane full of deadly venomous snakes, deliberately released to kill a witness, being flown from Honolulu to Los Angeles to testify against a mob boss. So Samuel L. Jackson being this detective, this agent, and he has to deal with these snakes on a plane, which is the ascension, the plane, and the snakes is just representing that fire, that Kundalini energy that just literally destroys the human as it's rising up. Is a symbolic representation of what we need to be working on this year. Kundalini rising. They got Kundalini yoga. They got different practices where you Kundalini meditations, all of that different stuff, different things you can take to spark your Kundalini and things of that nature, right? Chakra work, obviously, chakra work, because it's dealing with your glands. All of this stuff is saying, okay, you know what? If I deal with my Kundalini energy, then I can ascend to higher levels. As the plane might be going down, that old plane, there's still a freedom ahead that's going to bring me into a new plane of existence. Very, very important to understand. And then speaking of Samuel L. Jackson, we just seen him with K. Dot in the Super Bowl. And he was the Uncle Tom, right? And Kendrick essentially just represented the idea of watching the party die, right? So Kendrick representing this super conscious nigga and transcending back into the art form of creativity. Go see my last video when I did the Kendrick Gloria decode. That's a very important, very, very important understanding to have within yourself, because at the same time, at the end of the day, that Kundalini energy is just going to spark forth a level of creativity. Creativity. So your mission down here is to create. So in the physical level, right, you create a baby with the sexual energy, which is your Kundalini energy, masculine and feminine energies. So now men, fellas, we have this feminine energy called Kundalini that if we raise it up correctly, we can bring forth certain manifestations into this world that will, you know, make us move through this adventure accordingly. And that level of bliss that we feel in putting something down is the true walk of a chaos being. Just based off of you creating it and putting it down here. See them low vibrational niggas, all them humans and shit, they just want to bust nuts, bust a nut, bust a nut. They don't understand that that sexual transmutation is another level of God that takes you into creating something for yourself that you can say, oh shit, I did that. And that busing in the head in the kingdom is going to be so much more pleasurable, and it's going to last so much longer based off of you put something down that was coming from your heart. Hey, very, very important to understand that. Y'all might have to rewind that bitch, because I'm telling you, this shit gets deep and it gets real strange. Stranger Things type thing. You feel me? Hey, y'all like this thing up? What's up, family? I see y'all in here. Y'all like this thing up? Let's get it, man. Like this thing up if I'm giving y'all them gems. Boom. Speaking of Samuel L. Jackson, Snakes on the Plane. Samuel being the Uncle Tom in Kendrick's Super Bowl. We got to also look at Samuel in Baphomet. Uh-oh. Let me scare the family real quick. Ha. Hey, if you scared, go to church, baby. Let's get to it. So understanding, right, this Baphomet energy or the Samuel and Lilith energy is very, very, very important for your spiritual transformation. So I did a video a long time ago about how the inverted pentagram, saying Lilith, is actually a spiritual worker, and the right side up 5-pointed star is the conscious dude, but the conscious dude is like Umar or Tariq Nasheed. They probably know information, but they're not really in the, because consciousness is just awareness, right? So they know about the social, political, oh, they doing this to black people and everything, which everybody is, by this time should be conscious dudes. You feel me? That's just you being a human and having a level of awareness that takes you out of the automaton state. Most of these people are NPCs. These NPCs, these non-programmable characters, are part of this emanation that we're walking in, and they don't have no mind at all. Cool. So that's the level of people, right? You was never an NPC if you can hear my message. You are beyond that, right? Now, some of y'all probably went through that conscious state with the goddamn Sonetta channel and the Tariq Nasheed, the hidden color shit. You know what I'm saying? That black consciousness shit. Like, yeah, we were kings and queens in Egypt and all of that, right? So some of y'all went through that state, which is the Adam and Eve, the atoms in your body and the evolution to the world, which is the right side up 5-pointed star. So now there's another level, which is going into the dark side, if you will, the subconscious mind. Darkness just means subconscious mind, which is Samuel and Lilith, which is you transforming your energy into something beyond the human, which is God awareness. So when you do this, when you're doing this spiritual work as a spiritual worker, you become past the human in the argumentative states of the conscious dude that wants to be right and say, yeah, we're kings and shit or whatever. Yeah, this is all black. None of that stuff matters, because at the same time, at the end of the day, that doesn't transform you. This is about transforming you. You. So speaking about Samuel, right, and Lilith, which is two aspects of the same coin, essentially, which is like the rebellious, transformational spirit that is seeking knowledge within self. You're eating from the tree of knowledge instead of the tree of life. Now you move into a space of completely understanding yourself from a cosmic level, So the spiritual worker is a must-have aspect of yourself, right? Your house is upside down, and if y'all don't understand the house upside down, when you look at the Samuel and Lilith symbol, right, you see the house, the pentagram in the middle of the Samuel and Lilith symbol. I wish my mouse would show, but you see the pentagram pointing right side up. That means this downward energy of this 5-pointed star, Samuel and Lilith, is you actually understanding that you have failed to Earth. Because remember, you're just energy first. You failed to Earth, and your energy is stuck at the gastrointestinal tract, your root chakra. So you have to raise this energy back up in the form of spiritual work. So that's why Baphomet, let me read this for y'all. Arts and symbols of the occult. Arts and symbols of occult. The occultists mean hidden culture. Basically just you being in another level of God, which are hidden culture. So Baphomet is the epitome of spiritual work. You feel me? Which can seem strange to some people that don't know. But if you are a student of Bobby and Panic, you would know that to the core. But let's read what Baphomet is, shall we? Baphomet, this multi-level symbol represents the mysterious gods of the Templars, the fearsome androgynous with a woman's breast and an erect phallus, the goat-headed and horned devil of nightmares. Yet he is Pan, god of magic and initiation, concealing a smile within the horror. So he's concealing the smile within the horror to let y'all niggas know that if you're not ready for the transformation, then you're not understanding this symbol from a whole nother cosmic level, that the ones that can see past the, what do you say, hideous stages, you have to see the symbolic stages of what this symbol represents, which actually means spiritual worker. It says the arms pointing up and down signify as above, so below. Solve il coagula, dissolve and coagulate. So as above, so below is the spiritual message for you to see your symbols in the world, right? Solve and coagulate is analyze and synthesize. So you're making perspectives in the walk that you're in, this adventure that you're in, based off of you walking this bitch down and seeing synchronicities and symbols that correlate to your specific journey down here that you have to be able to address within yourself and not run from. Because some people see the signs and synchronicities, but they'll run from it based off of, they don't want to deal with it based off of they're in a space of the human. They would rather deal with the two eyes instead of that soft voice that's speaking to you, that's giving you these signs and symbols saying, hey, you need to move this way, buddy. See, this ain't no logical thing that you're listening to. This is beyond any kind of thinking mechanism that people are trying to put into spiritual gnosis. The signs and symbols that you receive is going to be just for you. The more confidently and assertive you are in moving towards them signs and symbols, the more your world will start to make sense for you. Nobody else can be in your world. You have your own point of view, POV. You're in your own shell. So the signs and symbols that you receive is going to be completely different than mine and the next man. So it's up to you to have the courage, the Heru, to embark on them signs and symbols for you and to see the path they lead you down that's going to move you into another level of kingdom or enlightenment. So that's very important to understand because, you know, at the same time, at the end of the day, we're trying to be on this group dynamic thing where, okay, we all got to get this thing like that. This is chaos. Everybody's in a whole different conundrum within themselves. your particular plight is going to be way different than my plight. So now we got to understand, how do we come for our own plight in a whole cosmic level? The wing symbolizes the flight of the liberated soul. The flaming torch between the horns of virility is the awakened crown chakra. So, you know, that's also the pineal gland. This flaming, flaming horn. The magical light of universal equilibrium. Baphomet is the light bearer cloaked in the disguise of evil. So remember when I did the video, evil just means lived, right? There is no evil. There is no good or bad. So some things that you're seeing as destructive, like these plane crashes, are actually divine, because they're giving you an understanding of how to move next in the particular world, right? Now we get it. We get it because we have compassion and love for the people in Cali that had the house fires. You feel me? So we're not trying to not have no compassion, right? What we're trying to do is understand our own adventure and understand the alchemical transformation that we have to deal with within, based off of these signs and synchronicities showing us a complete story that we have to walk down to the end of this thing. So that's important, family. That's important. The way of the spiritual worker is to have his house right side up, which is Baphomet, right? And I got a whole Samuel and Lilith in this Luciferian witchcraft book that everybody should get. But they dive deep into how that is a must-have process in order to transform the energy inside of you to become anew. And that's the real gain in this thing, right? You want to be a spiritual worker, not somebody that's just wearing a costume. Because a lot of times these niggas is just wearing costumes and pretending to be spiritual workers, but they're not really doing no work based off of, they haven't changed nothing inside. So it might sound good. Yeah, you sound good, but who are you within? Do you have the ability to control your inner conversations and move in the space of God based off of you did your mental alchemy work? That's very important, family, to understand to the core. Very, very important. So then becoming anew is just Kundalini. You feel me? Kundalini energy. Kundalini is the divine serpent coiled at the base of your being, awaiting its awakening to unleash the transformative power, our life force, creativity, and spiritual potential. So again, when I was thinking about Prince, or Prince been coming through, that's what we're talking about, his creativity. That Kundalini, you know, cause that nigga had to have his Kundalini rise. That nigga feminine than a motherfucker. That's divine feminine energy for your ass. Yeah, that nigga, what? That nigga, that nigga moved them shoulders and shit. This nigga got on a full blouse. Then his colors was purple. The crown god. Nigga, that nigga was symbolized. He had the Ankh in his goddamn symbol. That nigga symbolized nothing but divine feminine energy. That nigga transformed into something completely strange. He was an androgynous being for real. And he was getting them. The females was embracing his spirit. They were like, shit. Nigga probably was 5'3" and basking in his goddamn divine feminine energy on a whole nother physical level. And the females were still flocking to him because they were seeing a certain level of light inside of them. They're like, oh, whoever this little nigga is, I want in. Hey, shout out to Prince, man. Hey, he been coming through lately, and it's starting to add up. You feel me? Because you have to become somebody else, somebody strange to actually embrace yourself so confidently to wear a goddamn blouse and long wavy hair and shit. Nigga was pretty than a bitch. Pause. That boy just embraced his prettiness. That nigga probably looked at himself in the mirror like, I'm killing these hoes. He's talking about the females. God damn. Hell nah, boy. Shout out to Prince, man. Boom, the upside down. The upside down. So Stranger Things is coming out in 2025. This is the last season of Stranger Things, right? I remember Vecna represented an aspect of God when I had did Stranger Things, the season 4. I decoded it season 4 or whatever, right? And remember, the upside down is you dealing with your fears, dealing with your emotional traumas, dealing with the stuff that you keep hidden to be cosplaying as a human. You have to embark on the dark side, on that dark energy, because essentially what's going to happen is when you go into the darkness, you come out with light. So the whole season 5 of Stranger Things is going to be from what I was reading, is going to be mainly in the upside down, which is again the plane being upside down. So that upside down world is really the true way of the world, just like Baphomet, right? And people believing that it's actually upside down, but he's really right side up when you see the house. So we're living in a world where we're literally upside down, and the real way is to go within, which is the darkness, to come out anew and transform our particular energy to be in our home, right, that's right side up, in our kingdom, right, which is right side up. So that kingdom is the mind. That, see, when they have programmed you so much that you don't even know yourself as a spiritual, intuitive, psychic power centered being. You just know yourself as a human that follows the status quo and moves like sheep, like a herd. So you do that because you don't want to look strange to others, because the opinions of others matters to you. But there's something inside of you that wants to rebel against that specific spirit that's not, serving your greater good of enlightenment and consciousness. So you usually see it with the individuals when they drop out of high school and shit. Like there's something that they just cannot get with, and it's like a rebellious spirit against the system based off of their energy is too strong for them to be encapsulated into a box. And then, whenever you do see certain individuals, right, you start to say, well, they didn't go to college and they became millionaires. They didn't go. So then you start to look at it and say, wait a minute, because they was trusting their spirit, trusting that internal noise, and they went for theirs. Eventually what happened was they did the alchemy where they became successful in this earth realm. Very, very important to understand. So they want people to be workers because they need workers, right? So when you go into your darkness, you will essentially come out with more clues and understandings of how to run your particular world. So, for instance, some of y'all supposed to be in a far off country, right? And embrace that adventure. Some of y'all spirit is like that. You feel me? But you letting friends and family members of your mamas hold you down here in Atlanta, Georgia, because you want to be close to them, and you don't want to, and you don't know nothing else. My nigga Kamani, this nigga went to Puerto Rico. He just up and left to Puerto Rico. He was in Atlanta. And nigga said, Dream, something just told me in my spirit to leave. And I was kept on fighting it for years, and I finally left. And then he was telling me, he said, at first it was hard being in Puerto Rico, not knowing Spanish, da-da-da-da-da. But then he said he started embracing it. Y'all know Kamani, he used to be on Panic's videos and shit with him speaking with Panic and stuff. He said he started embracing it, and he said, nigga, he loved it. After, a few of that first rocky months, the first 4 months where it was rocky, he just said he started embracing Puerto Rico, and now he loves it. He said he don't even work. He said he basically work online, and he just, living out his life. And now he's about to get married to a Puerto Rican goddess out there. And nigga, I'm gonna be in the wedding. Fuck it. Ha! So you feel me? It's like him making that choice to say, okay, what the fuck am I doing in Atlanta? Why am I? And that's funny, I'm bringing up Kamani because he was also from where Prince is from when he did that Panic and Prince tape with Panic, wherever Prince is from. So then that nigga took a shot on himself, went for his, and now he said, man, he living it up. He said he ain't worried about no glamour, no nothing, nigga. He said he just in a whole space of bliss. You feel me? And that's the thing we want to understand to the core. We don't want to be held back by the glamour, by the illusionary construct of being Mr. Popular or whatever in the West. You want to live your life according to what's inside of you that's going to move you. You. That's all this is about you. So then when you're on that deathbed, you don't have no regrets of staying in goddamn Atlanta, Georgia for goddamn 70 years, 85 years. Just because you was afraid to take that trip to Dubai and see what time it was. Hey, that's real. You got to deal with the fears, and them fears is in the upside down. It's in the dark room. So now when we see all these planes and stuff happening and the plane falling upside down, right? And is embracing that chaos, right? Plane crashes as symbols involve themes of deep-rooted fear, chaos, and the need for reflection on one's emotional or life circumstances. A plane crash can also mark the end of a journey or chapter in life, one that may not have ended the way you envisioned. So this is important to understand, that you have to be able to embrace the new ending of you removing them low vibrational friends from your life. Get out. The movie Get Out, yes, get out. You want to get out for real. And man, you ain't doing nothing anyway. So why don't you just live it up and see what happens? You playing too safe. You're going to have to go through the fear of embodying the upside down world. Here go the movie right here. Hey, what y'all want me to say? I decoded the hell out of this movie, right? Back in the day. So again, the hijack with Idris Elba, right? This hijack series, it was a series. Remember, the plane was called Kingdom. Remember, the kingdom is in the head. Remember, we said planes represent transcending, ascension, going to a higher level of existence, right? What this hijack movie was them hijacking your mind to think like a human. But in the plane, the kingdom plane, you are ascending to another level of God, another level in an enlightened state. So now Idris Elba in this movie had to land the plane correctly because, it was getting hijacked. But even in the title, it says, let them think they're in control. Let them think they're in control. That's the system or the powers that be, the Illuminati, playing with your mind, right? Because you're believing that you're human. But if you let them think they're in control, but you're actually moving in control of your own mind, then the kingdom of heaven will reign supreme. And you'll take flight into a different plane of existence that helps you down here in this existence. But you're going to have to be willing to have courage, Heru, and be the son of God. So remember in this movie Hijack, or in this series Hijack, I had decoded it. I said Idris Elba was basically losing his son, his SON son, to a white man. So remember he was texting his son on the plane. He was trying to get back to him. It was the same Finding Nemo movie. Like Nemo's trying to find his son. Remember the son in the water, in the thing or whatever, right? So the son is SON, SUN, but the son just represents Christ consciousness thinking. The Son of God, Jesus, is just representing Christ consciousness thinking. So now you want to find your son, but the only way to find it is by crashing that motherfucking plane. Hey, I know that hoe went over a lot of people's heads, baby. Hey, I'm just telling you what it is. This hoe is going to have to come down. Something's going to have to break. You're going to have to tear something up to become anew. That same robotic movements you keep on doing is not serving you. I know y'all. I can hear the minds now. I'm like, dang, I don't want to do it. I'm telling you, this is the year for you to get all your shit, because if you do break something this year, and it could be something that you breaking emotionally, it could be breaking free of friends, breaking free of an addiction, breaking free of a relationship that doesn't serve you, breaking free of your mama and them that might be holding you back because you got to keep on taking care of her, right? Whatever it may be, that's for you to introspectively look within and say, okay, I got to break this habit to go to another level in 2026. So now, telling you want to get into this mode of tearing something down and dealing with your fears of tearing that down, just like the plane represents, the crashing of planes represents, to get to 2026 in a particular way that serves you as God. Hey, this is what I be tripping on. I know some of y'all can hear me and shit, and I'm like, damn, I know only 10% of y'all niggas is gonna do this shit. You're gonna have to look at something that you're gonna have to break this year. Trust me. And you're going to have to surrender to breaking that bitch, letting it go, whatever it might be for you. And then that's how you get to an enlightened state in 2026. But until you make that sacrifice, your world is going to stay the same even in 2026. This is the year of the snake. You got to shed the skin, baby. You got to transform. Something's going to have to shift. And you're going to have to let it go. So let's just imagine, right? It's weed. Let's just stay with that one. Let's say weed, right? He said, you know what? Fuck it. I ain't gonna even smoke the whole year. Fuck it. I'm gone. I'm gone. And then all of a sudden you notice that you're not smoking, you was a little bit irritable at first in the first few months or whatever, right? But then something starts to shift in your world where say, hold on, wait a minute, I got a little bit more energy. Wait a minute, I'm a little bit more clear-minded. Wait a minute. The way I was just speaking to that female was a little bit more swifter and a little bit more clever. Oh, whoa, wow. Now situations is coming to me where I'm becoming something new or having more opportunities that bring me more of the bag. So now all of a sudden, you got to consciously say to yourself, is it worth smoking the weed? Or is it worth going down this particular road? I had a homeboy, a client. He went vegan for like 4 months, 5 months. This nigga won. Ask the Patreon family. He'll tell you he's in the Patreon too. This nigga won. I can't remember how much it was. It was like 15,000 or whatever, right? He went vegan for like 4 months. Opportunities started coming to him. You feel me? His energy started changing just by going vegan for 4 months. And I told him, I said at the end, I said, hey, you gonna go back? And he was fighting. He's like, I don't know. He said, I don't know. You feel me? And that fight is the important thing because the meat might have been good to you or might have felt good in that moment, but was it actually helping you become the person that you were supposed to become based off of, that might have been the thing that was holding you back internally. So now everybody has to look for the introspective look within themselves to see what that is, see what they have to eradicate within themselves. And the more you do that, the more you will transform. So I remember when I decoded this, Idris Elba hijack, remember he got off the plane and he found his son again because his son was still alive. Remember they was about to kill his son, but his son was still alive. And the sun was shining on him when he got out, which is when he was finally stepping out, which is the Christ consciousness. You see him looking up to the Son of God. You feel me? So I decoded the hell out of the movie. I even think, did they have water? It was something. Oh, I think, no, that wasn't this movie. Whatever movie it was, there was a sun on a lake in a plane or some shit like that or something I was watching. And I was like, yeah, that's Jesus walking on water. So when you see the sun hitting the water, that's the real symbolic messages of why Jesus is walking on water. It's the sun that gives you life. So now when you sun gaze, right, that's actually hitting not these two eyes, this first eye, which is your pineal gland, which is going to give you a more illuminated thought. Very, very important to take back your mind and not let it be hijacked by the demiurge. True transformation comes from a part of yourself you don't yet know, another mind. Here go the caterpillar saying, you changed. We're supposed to. Give me some questions, family. Give me some questions. What's up, baby? What's the word? What's the word? I am God 1982 said, gotta stop drinking. I say, that liquor will do it. You can break that too. That's an easy break. You got it. You feel me? I stopped smoking last January. I feel like a little kid again. No brain fog, nothing. I say. And to all my smokers, if y'all have been smoking for a while, there's a supplement or a herb or a supplement that choline. My nigga Lamar put me on it. I used to take it back in the day, way back, but my nigga Lamar put me on it. That choline is for your brain strength. Take some of that choline, 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 and that will start getting that brain fog back. Because I used to smoke a lot heavy too, real heavy. And once I got off of smoking in the bars and drinking shit, I had to do something drastic because I was still in the foggy state for like a year or two. Still fucked up. So I was taking that alpha brain, choline supplements, just to get my brain stuff back. If you do extreme fast, you'll start to feel your brain coming back online. It'll start snapping and shit. You feel me? Like when I used to do a whole bunch of fasts, 10 days, 20 days, whatever, right? I did a 40-day fast before and a 30-day fast. So now, and this ain't no medical advice. I'm not a doctor. You do your own research. This is just for entertainment purposes only. So now, when you do a fast, when I did a fast, my brain started, something was happening. It was like crunching. And I was like, oh shit, my shit, synapses is coming back online or some shit. And nigga, after one of them extreme fasts, I became super enlightened. Now, I wouldn't encourage, you got to start slow because everything is a process. You got to walk that bitch down. So 1 day fast, then a 3 day, then maybe a 5, and then so on and so forth until you feel confident to get to 10 or whatever. But again, this ain't no medical advice. I'm not a doctor. This is just for entertainment purposes only. So take that for what you need. You feel me? Think about fasting for Ramadan. Yeah, Ramadan is March 1st, right? I think it's March 1st. Letting my past relationships go. Ashe. Oh, Maddox Express said Mullen. Mullen will work too. Yeah, smoking cigarettes. Yeah, that was a big one for me to break too. I used to smoke a box a day. I don't even know how I did that shit. That gotta be a box I had to smoke in a box like every 1.5 days or something. But I would go to the store, get a new box when I needed it. You feel me? On it, boy. What? I just look back. I said, damn, how the fuck did I smoke in that box a day? Because I remember I was getting to a point where I spent buying a new box a day. Newport shorts, y'all know. I was like, damn, what the fuck? How am I spending this? By how? I just bought a box yesterday. Then I started realizing, damn, I buy a box a day. Nigga didn't know how the fuck he was doing that shit. God damn, chaos in the blood. Want to get that herb pack from Panic. Rest in peace to the brother. Yeah, Panic still got his site up. My fairy godmother Khadija is running his site. His wife Khadija is running the site. Go to occultlectures.com and they're going to come faster. occultlectures.com for Panic's herb pack and his books. You don't want to get them books off of Amazon. Somebody just running up the price. You just go to Panic site, occultlectures.com. They're still coming in. Procrastination is a big one for me. Yeah, that's a huge thing. Procrastination. I seen the video with the guy. He was saying to beat procrastination, you just say in your head, "Do it now, do it now, do it now," and just say that until you get up and start doing it. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, y'all like this thing up, baby. Like this thing up. Oh my God, I'm there. Just said that this morning. How do I get here? Ashay. I'm there. Just said that this morning. How do I get here? Ashay. And then here we are on DreamWise's web or this YouTube. When the last time you spoke to the guy who won the lottery? The lottery? I don't know, Titus. I can't even remember. I don't know. It's probably been a minute. Synergy Company has choline also. Okay, all right, Ryan. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just went to Amazon and got my choline. Um, it's just good to have. You feel me? I'm gonna stop smoking now, just 2 days in, but I know I come back eventually for ritual use. I like to smoke all varieties. Yeah, and that's a big thing because there is some steps that might bring you back to the stages. You feel me? So for me, like when I was drinking heavy, I would say, "Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna just drink wine." You see what I'm saying? I'll drink wine, and then the wine would turn into, "Oh, well, let me just take a shot," and then the shot would turn into, "Oh shit, a whole cup." You feel me? So you just want to be mindful of all them little triggering steps that can bring you back into the fold. If that's your time to, if that's your thing to let go of, you feel me? So that's important as well. Another important aspect is to do these spiritual baths. So, get into the spiritual bath work because that'll help as well. You feel me? Getting outside. The new year is about to come. March 21st is the new year. So getting outside in that sun and putting your feet in the ground is going to help you release a lot of energy too. You feel me? Remember, all of this stuff is just the body. So your central nervous system, um, your physiological language inside of you is just controlled, is hijacked by an entity called the demiurge. And the demiurge is just your ego because it's trying to stay safe and comfortable. So, safe and comfortable is like, okay, let me come home and smoke weed and then watch a show. So that's what you're used to, being safe and comfortable. You feel me? So now that demiurge can be fucking you up based off of you need to come home and put pressure to your diamond, which is you, to create a diamond in this particular world. So then you might have to come home and say, all right, fuck it. I'm going to work on let's say you're working on a book, right? Fuck it. I'm going to just come home for an hour. I'm going to work on this book. Or like if you're coming home, say you're doing YouTube, right? You just come home, fuck it. I got to make a YouTube video. Nobody ain't watching or nothing. Fuck it. I'm going to just do it anyway. You feel me? That's that pressure, and you got to let go of the glamour or the egoic state of doing it because you're trying to get people to watch you. You just got to do it because you love it. So then it's the same thing with artists, right? They paint paintings not for people to see, but for them because it's an expression of God that they have. And if y'all don't know, hey, this is the year of expression. This is how you're going to receive energy back to you, which could be in the form of bag or in the form of situationships or relationships, because relationships is worth more than gold anyway. So now, if you understand that, you just got to look at the signs and symbols. Remember, what's the dude's name that's real quiet and shit? He just go like this on TikTok. And he just be pointing at people's stuff like, look at this shit. He don't even say nothing. He just quiet. Whatever that nigga name is who do the expression without even saying a word, then acquired the bag just based off of his look and him going like this. So now, right, that should let you know that the spectrum from that nigga that don't say nothing that acquired millions of dollars by doing this to the Joe Buttons and the Kai Cenat that speak out loud, and the speeds of the world that do, you know, wild and crazy stuff that speaks out loud to express themselves is up for grabs. So you just got to figure out where your creativity lies and how you're going to express yourself in this specific paradigm right now, because at the same time, at the end of the day, that's when you know, that's how much range you have. What's his name? His name is Kobe? Nuh-uh. His name is Kobe? Ha! Hell nah, boy. His name better not be Kobe. That's crazy. Hell nah. You talk about Kobe, the mamba, the black mamba, the snake. That nigga name is Kobe. It's crazy. That's some crazy ass shit. Because he should be a marker of expression by him making millions of dollars by going like this. Shit, do I need to do that? Look. That nigga just got a funny face for it. I don't know. Shit, can I do it? I'll be doing everybody's shit. Like, what? So understand to the core, right? That's where this thing is landing. You feel me? That expression is very, very important in this specific time. So you got to just figure out what you're trying to. It's not about money. The money will come if you just being true to yourself and expressing yourself in the way that you want to see set forth. You got to step back and just say, okay, what do I like? Whether it's music, art, speaking, TikTok dude, whatever, creating, making people laugh, right? Look at Drewski and them. They about to turn up all the way up. I can't wait to see them in 10 years from now. Them boys gonna be gone. All of that stuff is where we need to understand that this is how this thing is about to be played. So now is whether you making videos for other people, you know, they've got people that make music videos and stuff, right? The mustards of the world, all of that stuff, right? It's just all expression. So now you just got to live in your truth and stay in that creative bag so you can get to the real God, which is your spiritual light. Let me take a few of these questions. Dream, do you remember the brand you use? Nah, what, with the clothing? Nah, I just got one off of Amazon. Hey, one of my big brothers have been chronic seizures his whole life, and it's slowly changing him. Are there any herbs that can help slow the seizures down? Man, I would not know. Honestly, I would not know. But there is a book called what's the name of this book? It's called because it has all the diseases, and they'll tell you the particular herbs or exercises you could do. It's called the body keeps the score or something like that, or the alchemical body. Babe, what's the name of that book? D Ray's gonna put it in the chat. It's a book called The Body, and it tells you all the different exercises and stuff you could do. You feel me? You see that Will Smith Big Sean song where he took the red and blue pill? Oh yeah, I seen it. Yep, I seen it. Hey, that's what I'm saying. It's time. It's time. I got a Shiva statue coming Friday. How can it use it to help me shift? Ashe, yeah. Shiva is that ultimate aesthetic. So you know, Shiva is the god of the work, the spiritual work. So now, if you want to tap into your Shiva, you're just gonna have to understand how he used to walk down this thing. So remember, in one of the Shiva mythologies, there was a forest full of bad honeys, bad females, and Shiva had to, you know, it basically is a sexual transformation story. Shiva had to combat these females from getting to him because he was trying to hold his seed, and his seed was for the one on top of the mountain. So he in the forest They showing titties, they twerking and shit, ass in front of him, and he just batting it. Hey, he trying to get away. You got to get out of that thing. You feel me? He trying to get out of that forest, and then he finally got to the forest, and he had to still climb the mountain, which is a tough capade. And he got to the female, which just represents your Lisa or your consciousness coming to America. Lisa, you finding your Lisa, which is the ultimate light or enlightenment stage, which is Shiva, which is Kundalini energy. So now, fellas, because you'll have a physical representation of a goddess in front of you, which is Shiva or Parvati. Cool. Or not Shiva, Shakti or Parvati, right? Cool. So the Shakti energy is your Kundalini energy, right? So Shiva finding Shakti at the top of that mountain was him becoming more enlightened in the divine feminine stage, and the mountain is up here. The kingdom is up here, right? And that's where all the glory of the world starts coming to him. So you're going to understand that to the core. Like, fellas, you got to just say no sometimes. You feel me? No matter how tempting that ass might be, some of that shit just going to hold you back because you're still taking on somebody else's energy. You busting a nut to this female, and she might be having all kind of demons inside of her. And demons ain't a bad thing, but, you know, she might be having all kind of entities inside of her that's not serving her. And that's not going to serve you. So it's up to you to be the Heru or the Shiva in your story and start walking that bitch down. Yes, sir, family. Yes, sir. I love and appreciate y'all, family. Love and appreciate y'all. Hey, y'all like the video up? Like this thing up, man. Snakes on a Plane. 2025. The year of transformation. Y'all know what it is, family. Peace to the gods.